All right. Well, Beth, I want to know all about the next book. When's it coming out?
Well, you know what? It is coming out. I'm going to say this summer.
Okay.
You've seen my, I don't know if you can see it through this,
Yep.
but Carpe Diem sees the day with a smile. But what's really cool is I'm also writing a series of children's books on the same theme. So the first one is written. We have a cover. I'm gonna reveal that tomorrow. Sees the day with a smile for children. But what I want to talk about today is something very, very important, and that is this number, 525,600 minutes. Now, I can't ask you if you know what that is because I'm going to tell you. It's exactly how much time each of us has in 1 year of life. We all get the same amount of time. But do we really think about what we're doing with those minutes? Are we seizing the day? So, we can't put more days in our life, but we can put more life in our days. But that starts with a choice to get up every day with a decision to smile, with a decision to seize the day with said smile. So that other decision is to make a difference, make an impact on your life that day and all the lives you're going to interact and touch as your day goes on. And then the next day, you get a new choice and a chance. What are you going to do with that day? What are you going to choose? You're going to play big? Yes, that is seize the day. That's carpe diem. You have a gift of dreams. And I like to say that gift of dreams was a smile from source, God, universe, whatever your higher power is, that they smiled upon you and gave you a gift, a dream in your heart. And you deserve to have it. You deserve to make your life a beautiful story. I had a nudge from the universe that I had a gift to write, and I had a book that had to come out. And it had been sitting on my computer for far too long. That nudge turned into more of a shove, and I wrote it. This one is Make Your Life a Beautiful Story, Life Lessons I Learned from My Mother on Amazon right now. I'm so proud of it. But that was me seizing the day, playing big. And then it turned into, okay, let's write another book. And as Brian mentioned, this one's Carpe Diem with a Smile and a whole children's series. Carpe Diem. What does that mean? You know, when you are in that mindset, that's when you choose to act. And, I started taking Latin when I was 14, so a freshman in high school. And I was hell-bent on becoming a puella bona, which is good girl in Latin. All A's. I went to all the Latin competitions because I'm a wee bit competitive. And I, of course, knew Carpe Diem, seize the day or conquer the day. I knew that, but I didn't really know it. I didn't know how to apply it. I didn't know all the ways it was meant for me. And, I did stuff along my life, but it wasn't until I hit about the 25-year mark of my marriage, which was commemorated with a divorce and uh-oh, I have half my life to live. What am I going to do? What do I get to do? That was the framework. Like, ooh, okay, carpe diem. That's bucket list, right? Okay, so I'm going to make a big old bucket list and I'm going to check them off and I'm going to do them all. I'm going to travel here. I'm going to travel there. I'm going to jump out of a plane. I'm going to go skydiving. And I did all those things. I was a little crazy, right? Because I think it was around that midlife crisis time period too. So a whole lot was going on in the noodle. I had a best friend. We traveled. We did some of these bucket lists together and we laughed and we had fun. And then it just kind of like, okay, been there, done that. Now what? And I noticed there was still this longing. There was something missing in my life. And I couldn't quite put my finger on it because I had gotten very comfortable being alone. I would go to events alone. I would go to the movies alone. I'd go to dinner alone. I'd travel alone. I was pretty good company. I was doing okay. So I would always say, I'm always alone, but I'm never lonely. But if I really pull the weeds a little on that, I was lonely, but not for a companion. I was lonely for my tribe, my community, my people, my like-minded people. Now, another dream that I had had in my heart since around age 9 was to move to San Diego. And I had lived most of my life in Chicago, which was great. Chicago was awesome. It's a great city, but it was time. It was time to go. And off I went. Now, right before I went to San Diego, something happened. Something entered my life, and it was the game of pickleball. Pickleball. Now, it is the fastest growing sport in America for a lot of reasons. And if you've never heard of the game, wake up. I'll tell you a little bit. It's kind of like a mini tennis, stand-up ping pong, and badminton all came together one night, and boom, pickleball was born. It's a silly game when you look at it, but it's a serious game when you're playing it. There's a plastic ball with holes, and you're whipping it around with a paddle. But guess what happens when you play pickleball? You cannot not smile. And I would say there isn't a game in my life, and I've played thousands of games, where I am not at least smiling, unless on the rare occasion there's a jerk somewhere on the court, but almost always laughing, and just recently on the ground, belly laughing. That was a gift, discovering pickleball. So off I go to San Diego, right? And I unload my truck, but I know I didn't unpack a single box. Why? Because I was on my way to the park down the street to play pickleball. And I get there, and there's these bleachers, and there's a group of ladies, about 10 of them, sitting there eating their lunch. I mean, it was like recess. And I walked up and I said, "Hey, are you guys the fun gals?" And they're like, "Yes, we are." And I said, "I'm new here." And they're like, "Come play with us." And then we played for hours. And then at the end of that, I had everybody's phone number. And they said, "You know what? We're going to do the same thing tomorrow. You want to come?" And I'm like, "Yes." Every day. I am at the park like I'm 7, meeting my friends to play. Groups of women, men, all ages, doesn't matter. All different levels, doesn't matter. We're there to play. And guess what happened? I found my community. I found my tribe. I found so much joy. And from the game of pickleball. You know, there's a growing concern right now about the rise of loneliness, especially in the older population. They have lost their community. Perhaps some of their friends have moved away, gone to different places. They've gone to the Florida or whatever, and they're finding that they don't have this community anymore in their life. And they're lonely. They're feeling that ache like I did. And whether it's pickleball or your gardening club or a meetup group of people who like to walk on the beach or walk through the forest, whatever it is, finding your tribe, finding your community, that is a very powerful way to seize your day, to put more life in your days. But there's something else that happened with pickleball and me. I learned something about deserving. Now, I've been playing about a year, actually played in a couple of tournaments because I mentioned before, a wee bit competitive. And I decide with my partner that we are going to enter the US Open in Naples, Florida. So we practice, we work on our strategy, we plan our trip. We're like, all right, we're doing this. And I'm gonna up level that and say, you know what? Hey, we're gonna go all the way to Florida. Let's win the gold medal, right? I mean, come on, how hard could it be? Okay. So there we are, morning of the tournament, 7:30 a.m., Naples, Florida. We're on the court, we're warming up. A bunch of friends have come to watch us, and our opponents walk out onto the court. About half our age, clearly very skilled players. And I start to get this uh-oh feeling, pit in my stomach, hands are shaky, knees are wobbling. I'm a bundle of nerves, something I hadn't trained for. So here we go. I want to tell you a little bit about pickleball if you don't know. In a match, you have to win 2 out of 3 games, and the games go to a point spread of 11. So the first team to 11 wins, you have to win by 2. Okay, so game one, it's 0-10. Yeah, 0-10. My partner calls timeout. We laugh about it now. It was a wee bit late, but there we are. And a friend of mine who was a training partner came out onto the court and she's like, all right, don't, blow all your energy trying to claw back this game. Return the serve into the net, get it over with. You got two more games. But after you finish this first game, go catch your breath, regroup, and remind each other that you not only deserve to be playing here in this US Open, but you deserve to win that gold medal. It was a huge coaching moment for me. I lost my sense of deserving. There was this moment where I thought, I shouldn't be here. What the heck am I doing here? These people are half my age. I've barely been playing pickleball long enough to even know what the US Open is. But I got my act together. And I'll tell you what, we won the next two games. We won that match. We won 16 more matches. We get to the gold medal match. We are undefeated. We get almost to the end of game two. We've won game one. And my partner calls it a timeout. She's sick to her stomach because now she's a bundle of nerves. I don't want to blow it. So I said, hey, remember, we deserve to be here. We deserve to win this gold medal. Suck it up, Buttercup. Are you going to manifest barfing or are we going to get this medal? Well, we did. And guess what? I've gone on to play millions of tournaments, well, not millions, but hundreds of tournaments since then. And yesterday just won another gold medal and my golden ticket to play at nationals. But I had to still remember every day to seize the idea that I deserve to be there. We all deserve to make our lives a beautiful story. We all deserve to create and design that life, a life that we truly, truly love. We deserve to go play with our friends, to build our community, and to seize every day with a smile.